Regardless of the event type or size, with Dynamics 365 for marketing, organizations can take complete control of the entire event process. They have the ability to define what type of event it is. This is important because a lot of times, depending upon the audience, you may change who it is or how it is that you're constructing a specific event. We can also define what type of event it is. So with Dynamics 365 for marketing, we also have the capabilities to manage both webinars as well as on-site locations. When you're managing on-site events, you really need to take control of every aspect of what's happening. Not only do we need to understand venue information, but we need to understand the agenda, speaker registration, as well as attendee registration. So within the agenda tab of a specific event, I have the ability to look at the overall agenda. Each one of the items or sessions that are defined can be color-coded based upon the individual item to make it easier to identify at a glance what that specific session is. Details about those sessions can be defined within the application, such as the building, the room number, and even if this was going to be available online through a webinar, we could publish the webinar URL and make that available. Additionally, we can create individual tracks where we can assign these sessions to these tracks. This makes it easier when people are going through the registration process to be able to identify and understand what different tracks are available to make it easier, particularly in situations where we might allow self-registration or self-management. And finally, we have the ability to keep track of speakers. Regardless of who the speaker is, if it's an internal or external speaker, we have the capabilities to understand what sessions they are going to be delivered, as well as if there's any fee information in regards to external speakers. This might include travel charges, this might include daily rates. And depending upon the event that you're working with, each one of those events might have sponsors. Here we can track which sponsors we have and make sure that those sponsors are getting the credit that they deserve based upon the fact that they're coming in for the event itself. Every event is going to have some type of cost associated with it or outcomes that you're looking to work through. Through the additional information tab, we can go out and keep track of financial information, how much revenue this particular item is generating, as well as the budget that was allocated and the expected outcome. By understanding what the target or the goal of this particular event is, it makes it easier for us when we're starting to streamline or work through registrations to make sure we're getting the intended outcomes. Once an event has been created, it'll have its own personal site where you can direct registers to. On the registration page, you can break it down by session. So as people are coming in to determine whether or not to register or come to the conference, they can see a breakdown in regards to what sessions you're going to have based upon the specific day. If they're looking for session tracks, we can break it down by the individual session tracks as well. We also have the ability to look at the speakers. So here I can see which speakers will be presenting, and I can also drill in and see more specific information about that speaker, what specific workshop he's going to be working with, and if there's any additional information available about that speaker, it can be published and available from the event registration. In scenarios when we are working through and offering individual passes, we can also supply pass information to let people know, based upon the different tiers that they're working with, what types of options or what specific scenarios will be available and what's included in that individual pass. And then underneath the speaker section, we can also see who the sponsors were that were working through this. All of this helps the person that's coming out to the website determine whether or not this is truly a conference that they want to attend. Once they can hit register now, they will go ahead and be taken to the registration page where we can capture any event information that we would need, including any payment processing if we're processing payment, as well as allowing them to go out and initiate a schedule builder to create and define their own schedule if that's been enabled. With Dynamics 365 for marketing, organizations can create powerful events that can help them generate revenue, identify new leads or prospects, and just overall increase company morale depending upon the type of event, whether it's a live, in-person, or webinar.